This is a production of Off the Hook Sports with Dave Hooker.
Welcome to the program as we are on the Vol Report with the one, the only Jacob Warren, who was quite the celebrity this weekend. We'll talk about that. Also, the Diamond Vols on campus and just exploding as they continue to advance in the minds of sports nuts everywhere, not just college baseball. It's gone beyond that. It's a team that just has a really interesting, enigmatic sort of quality to it. Brought to you by Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland, Tennessee. Open 6 days a week, year round. They have EETC certified technicians, state of the art service facilities with parts and service for over 28 brands. They have free delivery on new riding units as well as free equipment training. They're awesome. 0% APR as well for up to 48 months. So that is Vassey Lawn and Garden. They've got everything you need, hedgers, trimmers, whatever it may be. But those Toro mowers are fantastic. Toro, count on it. All right. So, Jacob, have you ever I know your dad, so I don't think you have, but if you ever just openly given somebody the let's say that middle finger like Jordan Beck did last night on the field during the game, have you ever just let it fly?
No, he was saying we're number one. That's what he was saying. He did this finger.
That's on me.
Yeah, right. No, I think it would take a lot for me to do it, but I understand. I mean, they have adopted the villain role for sure, and if you listen to the broadcast last night, they were talking about during the game, the reporters were talking about how, our team, it's a bunch of good guys. Like these guys they're not jerks. They're not like mean people. I know quite a few of them and they're all really good dudes. And when they get on that field, they're just so competitive that just that attitude and that mentality takes over and they just become these villains to everybody else. And I think it's hilarious because I know quite a few of them personally. And it was interesting. It's funny how they just caught it. And then right whenever they saw what he was doing, they flipped it right off of him, the camera off of him so that they could stop showing him. But that was funny.
I was talking to Cooper Mays and he said that wouldn't set him off. But the one thing that is definitely across the line on the football field would be spitting.
Yeah.
Spit on that. Is that the one? Is there anything else that stands out to you?
If spitting is definitely probably the most disrespectful thing. Like you see people will like spit on quarterbacks, whatever, after they sack them. That's just, I don't know. It's gross, but it's also just like, that's super disrespectful. And then like, I really hate, no one's gonna see this. I really hate when people if you're in a pile or something and people are trying to like grab you or scratch you or, twist your ankles or your knees. And like, I've had people tackle me and I'll be at the bottom of the pile or something. And someone's like got a hold of my leg, like trying to twist it up and stuff. It's just, that stuff, there's no need for that in the game. And people do it just to try to gain an advantage, I guess. And it's childish, but whatever.
Has that happened? Has that happened to you before? As a Vol?
What's that? Like
people grabbing at you, twisting ankles and stuff.
All the time.
You don't want to say any names, right?
No, I don't even know who it was. It just happens. I'm telling you, you're like, whoa, what's that? What's that? Ah, let go. And then you get up and you're like, who was it? Like, why y'all twisting my ankle? But it's part of it, I guess.
And then if you react, well, they realize they've got you, so they're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, just going about your business.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I've always thought the tight end position is a little bit of that physical aspect and the athletic aspect. So you have to deal with both of those. Just in terms of, I do want to ask you, just being on campus, I know you guys are reporting back. How important is it to report back in close to as good of a shape as when you left? I mean, don't leaders on the team expect that?
Yeah, I think that's just where you see like how mature a guy is or how serious he takes, the game. If you're right, the last however many months since we got there in January, we've been working out, we've been running, we've been practicing in our practice periods, we've been, getting extra weights, extra film, all this stuff. You do so much work over the spring so that you can kind of build up some momentum going into the summer, which then carries you into fall camp and then into the season, right? And so whenever you have guys that will go months and months of training in the spring, in the fall, in the winter, right? And then just to throw it away, not throw it away, but then to just take, 2.5, 3 weeks, whatever, take it just completely off, never touch a ball, never, move their body. They're not eating right. They're not, hydrating like they should be. It's just a sign of immaturity. And I guess the older you get, the more you understand how important that stuff is. And yeah, I don't know. It's important.
Yeah, and I understand it's hard to do, especially on some holiday
Yeah.
breaks, like maybe Christmas. Do you find that you mentioned young guys, but is it just
Mhm.
really much as anything a maturity issue?
So one thing that's funny, you said holiday breaks. We'll have guys that'll leave for like Thanksgiving and will come back if we have that week off, and we'll come back like 15 pounds heavier, 10. But usually like linemen and stuff will come back and just be overweight and just ate way too much. And that's a little bit different, I guess. Like, because I'm probably in the same boat. I eat a little too much on Thanksgiving too, but it's not. I shouldn't say it in all cases. It's an immaturity thing. It just depends.
It's interesting you say that because I was telling Cooper about this, not to repeat myself, but I covered a player one time. His nickname was Forever 340 because he left for spring break at 310 and came back at 340.
Dude,
That's pretty impressive.
Blows my mind. That's impressive. In a week and a half.
So if I were going to pay you like $25,000, could you add 30 pounds of weight in 1 week?
It depends. I don't know. Are you paying for my food or what?
Okay. Just in
if
this
you pay for the food and you throw the 25 bands on top of it, I think I could do it.
But you'd have to fast in the beginning and lose a lot so that you could work through. This is turning into like a David Blaine thing.
Right. You got to strategically do it. So, I'd figure it out for 25,000 though.
Yeah, I think I would too. How much weight have you? Excuse me. How much weight have you gained since you've been a Tennessee football player and had the training table and all that good stuff?
Yeah, about probably a solid 50 pounds or so. 46, 47.
Is that about where you wanted to be?
Yeah, I came into college, and if you followed recruiting when I was coming out of high school, this because this is all people talked about. Was at like 200, and I think my first weigh-in was like 208, 206. I think I ate like a bunch of food right before the first weigh-in because I was nervous that I wasn't gonna weigh in enough or whatever. But yeah, now I'm sitting roughly like 253, 254, and I've gone through a bunch of weird like cycles, like because when I first got here, I tried to put it on so quickly. I'd probably win your $25,000 bet. Put on like 20 pounds in just a couple months, and was really just wasn't healthy. It wasn't a healthy 20 pounds, right? I was just got heavy out of nowhere, and I didn't know how to use my weight and couldn't run well, and so I had to drop a lot of the fat and kind of start building it up the right way. And took a really big step this past off season, and that's helped me a lot to get to where I'm at now, where I'm a comfortable, 250, 252, and I feel good. I look better. I run better. I feel stronger. And so I think that's been the biggest thing, is like learning my body and being able to put weight on the right way. And whether it's just 3 or 4 pounds, if it's real solid weight, I can feel how it helps me in my game and in my preparation and stuff.
What are some of the things you've done in the off season differently than previous years?
I guess it's just a mentality, a commitment, just realizing like you never really quite understand how quickly it goes until it's gone, right? Until you're going into prospectively your last year. I could have 2 more left. Like, this is the time I really have to make those leaps and those strides if I want to be successful and do the things I want to do. So just taking it seriously, and like I said, understanding what I have to put in my body for it to grow and to put on weight. And I kind of found that out, start eating better, started eating more of the right stuff and making sure that I'm constantly doing what I need to do. And that's kind of led me to this point.
So you've 250 is your good playing weight. Is it a challenge to keep that on during the season when you can't lift as
Yeah.
much?
So the goal really would be to go into fall camp like a lot heavier than I'd want to be. So going to fall camp at like
Okay.
257, 256, have a few extra pounds because you're inevitably going to lose a solid, I sweat a lot too. So like during practice, I would have ranges of 8, 6, 7, 8 pounds a day, just in water weight. But if I can lose all my water weight and still be at a solid, 253, 252, that's where I want to be. So that as the season goes on, I can afford to lose 3, 4 pounds maybe and be at 250, 249 by the end of the season, rather than being down at 240, 242. You know what I mean? It's just kind of it's almost like it's like a bear. A bear bulks up for hibernation and then he just sleeps. I'm not sleeping, I'm playing football. But what I mean, I've got to bulk up and get ready so that when the season comes, I'm ready to kind of have that enough to withstand me throughout the season.
Were you recruited just to play tight end, Jacob?
I thought you were gonna say wide receiver. Yeah, I was. I was recruited as a tight end, and a lot of people that watched me in high school know that like I just caught a lot of balls. I played tight end. I was playing the actual position. I had my hand in the ground and would come out of the backfield and stuff. But did a lot of work on the perimeter, caught a lot of balls and ran routes and stuff, and did what I needed to do in the run game and the pass game as far as pass protection wise. But yeah, that was the goal, was to come in and just put weight on and play tight end.
So in terms of when you were recruited, you made a mention that I thought was pretty maybe telling a little bit, that a lot of people criticize you because you were too light.
Hmm.
Was that motivation?
Yeah, it's when I was younger, like my freshman year and stuff, it never really like hurt me. I guess like people, you could say whatever you want, like it truly doesn't matter to me. But it was just like I know that I need to eat more, right? I know I have to put on weight. I don't need you telling me that I also need to put on weight because I'm completely aware. I've been told by pretty much everybody, all my coaches, what I mean? Everyone's telling me. So you tweeting at me and telling me I need to eat a cheeseburger is just immature. But that's that's besides the fact. But yeah, it was motivation. It was just kind of like most don't think that I belong, and I knew that I could find my place and that I would end up, making a name for myself and being able to play high level ball. So it was just kind of like, I guess, a chip on my shoulder to be able to now be proud of it and say like, yeah, I did that. I put on that weight, and now all the things people said I wouldn't be able to do, like I'm here doing them now. So yeah, it's been cool.
Somebody tweeted at you that you
Yeah,
didn't
dude.
know
Yeah.
to eat a cheeseburger.
Well, don't worry about it.
I
Don't
want to hear. You brought it up. I want to hear about it, but you don't have to tell me who it is.
I mean, I don't even remember the name. It was a Vol football post that they had posted about me whenever I committed. And you could just scroll, just keep going up the line. And it was, get this kid a cheeseburger, or this kid's not a tight end, or yeah, once he gets to Knoxville, we'll feed him and put weight on him and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm already in Knoxville, first of all. if you read the bio, you know that. But second of all, I know I need to put on weight. I'm going to do it. Just freaking weight. Goodness gracious.
Well, he wasn't there yet because it's name, size, and then high school.
He just zoned out when he saw the size.
Yeah,
and didn't even continue to see. Right. That's what it was.
Had zero idea you were that Warren. That the Warren
Right.
from Knoxville. It just didn't know. Yeah, just forgot all about that. Our conversation, the Vol Report with the Jacob Warren, is brought to you by Vassey Lawn and Garden. Vassey Lawn and Garden has those steering wheel Toros that are awesome in case you're not good with the handles, which I know can be more difficult. They've also got sprayers, clippers. They've got the edgers, the blowers, chainsaws, generators, pressure washers. They've got it all right there, and they can do service like no other. That's how they got started way back in the day. They've been there for a long, long time, and they're there for you. Check out David Vassey at Vassey Lawn and Garden. So, is this your last break, or you get one more break around the 4th, I imagine, before fall camp begins.
A couple days, yeah.
Okay, but
days.
that
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so you're pretty much a long weekend away from it's time to roll.
Yeah, that's how it is. Is usually you get whatever you get in May, and you come back end of May, beginning of June, and you get ready to hit it and get ready to lock in and finish. The summer is going to fly by. We've already finished a week and a half of the summer, and once you're done with summer, then you're straight into fall camp. And fall camp is super long. The days are long, but that flies by too. Before you know it, you're playing your first game, and then before you know it, you're playing your last game, and it's all over. So it's a long 7-8 months, but it also kind of just goes by like that. So
I don't want to get into like specific or old stories, but I've been around
Yeah.
UT's football program that a couple of things happened. One, the football team was really insulated and they were way better than everybody else. So they didn't really hang out with a lot of other athletes. I've also been around where the ladies side, the lady balls, and the men's side split. So they weren't hanging out. But it
Yeah.
seems like repeatedly talking to you, talking to Cooper, talking to whoever I do talk to, you guys have friends on the baseball team, have friends on the basketball team. There's really seems to be a cohesion in the whole athletic department.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. I think that's one thing that I guess we're trying to focus on. It's funny. So my FCA group, right, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, they renamed it a few years ago. It's called 110, 1TENN, and it's called that because like what we're trying to do is we're trying to create unity within our whole campus, right, of athletes, and non-athletes are welcome too. But this is really where I've kind of developed a lot of the relationships with some of the other sports. There's some of the rowing team is in there, softball players, volleyball players, tennis players, people that run track, baseball players, basketball players, like, and then you meet these guys or these girls, and then you hang out with them and meet some of their other friends and some of their other whoever it is, and it's not like all of us are super deep and we have crazy conversations about life all the time, but it's nice to be able to walk around, and when you're down in Smokies in our cafeteria, you're able to, all right, I'm not here with any of my guys, but okay, I see there's that group over there. I'm friends with them. I'm gonna go sit down with them and hang out and talk and eat together. And that was a point even since I've been here that wasn't the case. It was very much if no football guys are here, I'm just going to sit by myself and put my headphones in and not worry about anything else. But I love the way that, like you said, the campus is kind of uniting, and doesn't really matter what sport you play. We're all just kind of happy to be here and hanging out together.
Yeah, I think the world could probably take a lesson from that. But
I agree.
Yeah. Well, let's not go down that road. It will only make someone angry. There's no question.
Not what we're here to do.
Yeah, the Ball Report with Jacob Warren, brought to you by Vassey Lawn and Garden. Man alive, it's worth the drive. Toro, count on it. This has been a production of Off the Hook Sports.